to serve. Physical problems. Djokovic has complained about a little hamstring, the breathing problem, which he says comes from an allergy to flowers in Melbourne. He's had trouble breathing in both the quarterfinal against Ferrer, the semi against Murray, but it doesn't show up during the points. He seems to be holding up just fine once the ball's in play. Djokovic will turn 25 years old this spring. Many believe put together the greatest year anybody ever had. 62-2 through the end of the U.S. Open. Tapered off with the shoulder problem. His body kind of broke down. But for him, the finish line was New York.
Yes.
He blazed right through it.
Yeah, he suffered a couple of late season losses that could have took the win-loss record really out of the mix as far as being the greatest year ever, but it's certainly up there. I expect that Nadal's going to come out of the gates on fire, Chris. Wouldn't be surprised to see him get a quick break. I think Djokovic, because of that long match, maybe just a little bit stiff coming out of the block. So I think it's a big opportunity for Nadal early.
After playing Friday, Djokovic didn't do much but sleep in really late on Saturday. An emphasis on recovery, not practicing. That day, Nadal went through a brisk 2-hour practice, having had 2 days to get ready for this, which does break the normal rhythm of Grand Slam. No statistical edge for the semifinal winner that has 2 days to prepare, in fact. Look at it. 3 out of the last 4 have been won by the guy playing the second semifinal.
Well, this is where Djokovic has improved so much, that ability to crank up the forehand, hit winners from really anywhere.
Both guys a little tight, you can tell, in the opening game. No surprise.
The ball also is not getting up off Rafa's racket, and that's probably because of the humidity in the air at the moment. You have a little more humidity, the balls fluff up a bit more, and he's probably not going to get the normal bounce off the court that he would be hoping for.
Is that a bad sign for his game overall?
Yeah, it's still warm though, so the ball's skipping through the court, but it suits a flat ball hitter more.
If Nadal looks to step it, he's stepping way back on the return. I think he's got to take some chances to be a little more offensive on some second serve returns tonight.
Rafa guessing the wrong way and badly off balance for that return, so Djokovic able to hold to open this final. No secrets between them,
no.
Rafa says, but some small adjustments that you'll look for.
That's a good, smart serve. He's trying to, Nadal's trying to set the tone that I'm going to run around and hit a forehand, and Djokovic says, not so fast. I'm going to make you think about it.
What Nadal has to face is the fact that even though other opponents in a tournament can't really get at his serve, not been broken more than 3 times in a match, Djokovic has been able to do that in the winning streak with shocking regularity.
Well, Djokovic is so nimble and so long, and the high kicker doesn't give him trouble. And he doesn't try to do a lot on the return, but it's very routine for him to sort of take the ball relatively early and just get a good clean hit on it. A lot of players have trouble with that, including Federer has a lot of trouble with the spin from Nadal's serve.
No free points in New York, and broken 11 times by Djokovic in that final. Stunning. It'll be interesting to see how big Nadal hits the first serve, because that's a sure sign of confidence when he doesn't fear the second serve, when he goes after the first one, and right away there's a free point on his serve, which he acknowledges he's going to need tonight, Patrick.
Just about 119 on that serve. That's a good speed for Nadal.
That was a huge difference in the 2 US Open semi-finals that they played, the way that Nadal served, the choice of serve. Nadal back in 2010, he was pumping that first serve, and he served at the same percentage, around about 66% of first serves in, but he won a lot more of those points. Last year, he was spinning that first serve in. It was windy conditions last year, but he was just spinning that first in.
Exactly, Darren. Rarely would he put a first serve in over at 110. Didn't have the confidence. Turns 26 during French Open time. Considers this event monstrous. He'll take February off to practice, then his most critical swing of the year begins Indian Wells right through Wimbledon. That's the meat of his schedule always. Comfortable hold. Sunday, ABC and ESPN bring you 2 great NBA games. Kia NBA Countdown gets you rolling at 3 Eastern over on ABC. Then the Bulls and the Heat at 3:30. That's an ABC game. Later that evening on ESPN, the Spurs and the Mavs. And this fan, Dirk Nowitzki. ABC and ESPN on Sunday. See if we I do see Vlade Divac in the box down there. Speaking of past NBA guys in the Djokovic camp, he enjoyed that long semifinal win. Tough to be a spectator for 4 hours and 50 minutes of tension.
What a way for Ivan Lendl, who was Murray's coach. There's Marian Vito, who's a coach of Djokovic. Lendl came down here for his first foray into coaching with Andy Murray, and certainly
welcome to the coaching class.
Yeah.
Nadal will be happy with that point. It was Djokovic scrambling corner to corner.
He's got to consistently play that type of point.
Now, he wasn't believing, Patrick, that Novak would be depleted, but do you think in Nadal's mindset at all is to test the legs, get him running early? I mean, more so than usual?
Well, I think that's always his mindset. I think
but more than usual?
Yeah, probably. Because I think he would probably feel that he can go the distance, and he certainly trained for this. But I don't think that you can make the mistake if you're Nadal of overthinking that, meaning I'm going to try to play long points. He's got to be offensive when he can. Like that. That's a good, heavy return from Nadal. And as soon as he got something to work with, he went for it. Watch this heavy return. Gets around it. Gets it up high. Djokovic doesn't do a lot with that ball. It's not a bad ball. It's a decent cross-court backhand. And Nadal pulls the trigger.
You don't see Djokovic beaten by 10 feet very often.
No.
A baseline winner. Nadal shoots him a little bit of a look after the point.
That's where Djokovic has really abused Nadal, is with that wide serve in the deuce court. On every surface, he's used that effectively. Because if Nadal drops that return short, which he often does, it's over. From either side, Djokovic can win the point. Routinely. Nadal telling himself, you got to hit it, got to go after that.
There you see Divac in the Djokovic box, third row. Now we'll check the mark. How should Nadal combat those wide serves? It was good. Which better tries to abuse him with that tactic as well.
Well, I think it's a tough spot for him because he likes to give ground where he is now, but that opens up the angle. Certainly in this court it's tougher for him because it's just two-hander. So even there, he's in trouble off that return. It's like he's caught, there's Vlada, he's caught in between going forward or going back. And his weakest shot in his whole entire game, Nadal, is his backhand return. That's his weakest shot. And Djokovic just made him pay the price for it there.
We'll keep an eye on how deep each man is returning. Djokovic routinely will get better depth in his returns. Aggression quick in the point from Djokovic. Serve is the weapon that gets him out of trouble in that game. So